My name's Lisa Sakos, and I am so pleased to be here tonight with all of you and with my colleague Heather Creamer. We are both natural nutrition coaches and registered holistic nutritionists, and together we co-lead the Health Coach Collaborative, which is a platform where we offer natural nutrition and coaching programs. And our programs qualify you to take the Metabolic Balance program that you're going to hear about tonight, and that gives you the opportunity to become a certified metabolic balance coach. I am absolutely thrilled to introduce your speaker for tonight, Jen Vasey, registered holistic nutritionist and the CEO of Metabolic Balance. And she was the #1 coach in Canada in 2023. So we're honored to have you with us tonight, Jen. With over a decade of clinical experience and almost 20 years immersed in the world of wellness and personalized nutrition, Jen has helped thousands of clients achieve transformative, sustainable health outcomes. After building her thriving practice that's rooted in science-based strategies and whole body healing, Jen transitioned into leadership with a mission to empower health professionals to grow impactful and profitable practices. She now mentors and coaches practitioners across Canada and beyond, helping them confidently deliver results-driven nutrition using the metabolic balance system. Her approach blends education, mentorship, and proven protocols to support both client transformation and practitioner success. And her passion lies in helping others unlock their full potential. Jen, we are so happy to have you here with us tonight to share the exciting opportunities that Metabolic Balance offers health coaches. So be sure to stick around until the end. We're going to have a Q&A session and then a special announcement that you won't want to miss. So take it away, Jen.
Thank you so much, Lisa and Heather. So happy to be here. Thank you for those who are tuning in and for those who are able to catch the recording a little bit later. Really appreciate it. And I'm just beyond excited to share the opportunity that Metabolic Balance will present for you. So without further ado, I'm going to share my screen right away here, and we're going to get started with the Passion to Profit webinar. And so the Passion to Profit webinar is your direct path to growing a profitable nutrition business. And that's what we're all about. We went, we invested in our education and we invested in ourselves so that we could truly help people. And we're passionate about making a difference, but we also deserve to have real careers and be able to profit from that in a way that is lucrative so that we can make a big impact in the world and grow our businesses with ease. And so thank you. That was such a lovely introduction, Lisa. Like Lisa mentioned, I am an RHN and the CEO for Metabolic Balance Canada. I pair metabolic balance with my 4 pillars of health, nutrition, exercise, sleep, and stress management to achieve lasting results. So really my metabolic balance story is I've been in the health and wellness industry for years. I became a certified metabolic balance coach in 2020. And I, at that time, didn't fully realize what I had access to. I was blown away by the results that I was seeing. And those results were initially friends and family. I started working with a few friends and family, offering them the Metabolic Balance program. And then the results were so profound. It was the most rewarding work that I had ever done that I ended up quitting my full-time corporate management position, which was a job that I really, really loved doing. I was the GM of a fitness club. I was running nutrition and fitness programs, yet still this was the most impactful work I had ever done. What I did not know when I did all of those things, that in my very first year as a metabolic balance coach, I would earn 6 figures and I would go on to earn multi-6 figures every year after that. So the income far exceeded my corporate job, which wasn't what it was all about at all. It was truly just about using this program, something that really aligned with my values because it's lab-based nutrition, and we're going to talk about that. And what then prompted me to move over here is when I was working with clients and just having such an impact, I decided I wanted to have a wider reach. And so I can have a wider reach with such an incredible program if I can continue to support our coaches who can support their clients. And that's what's led me right here today. So let's dive into exactly what we're going to cover today. So what is metabolic balance is so important. There's the daily rules and the 4 phases, the passion versus profit mindset, why personalized nutrition is the future, scaling your business with metabolic balance, how to become certified, and what your expected income potential is. So let's dive in first to what is metabolic balance. So Metabolic Balance was developed over 25 years ago by Dr. Wolf Funfack in Germany. This program was originally designed to heal inflammation, help reverse metabolic syndrome in his patients, and it also resulted in achieving optimal body weight. This program was designed and studied by the chemistry of one's individual lab values and then the chemistry of food and ultimately using food as a prescription. Metabolic Balance is an innovative all-natural nutrition program. It brings balance to your hormones, optimizes health, and leads to a new invigorating lifestyle, resulting in successful long-term weight management. To date, the program is managed by dedicated physicians and nutritional scientists, and the head office is still located in Germany. Metabolic Balance operates in over 36 different countries. So, the foundation of the program is Metabolic Balance's unique capability to develop truly personalized nutrition plans based on an in-depth analysis of your unique blood values, medical history, personal likes and dislikes. And right off the bat, I always like to point out that this levels up your credibility when you run blood work for your client. But I always like to cover it up front that you are not the issuing physician. You're not responsible for the results. You're just responsible for getting a copy of the results and entering it into the database to create the program. So as nutritionists or as health and wellness professionals who maybe aren't physicians and we can't actually issue requisition forms for blood work, at Metabolic Balance, we take care of that for you. So our physician will give you the requisition form signed by our physician, and you're able to give that to your client. They get the blood work, the doctor gets the results, and you get a copy. So I think it's really important to know the process around the blood work because there's often questions there. And again, the most important part is you just get a copy and then you use those results to send to our medical team at head office in Germany who will generate the plan. But for me, that was the biggest level of credibility that I was able to start offering clients is I am going to do personalized nutrition plan based on your blood work. Really, really important. Okay, the personalized nutrition plan acts as your roadmap, indicating exactly which natural foods to eat in order to orchestrate biochemical changes needed for reaching desirable weight and health goals. It is 100% natural. So there is no injections, pills, shakes, proprietary foods. You are not required to count calories, keep points, count macros, log food, nothing. It's just 100% whole food. It's a holistic approach. It just teaches you the exact foods to eat in the right ratios at the right times of day to orchestrate significant change. Everything clients need, they can just get at the grocery store or farmer's market. What one can expect: weight loss and improved energy, hormonal balance, improved immune function, potential reduction or elimination of the need for high blood pressure, cholesterol, and diabetic medication, better sleep, improved moods, less bowel and stomach problems, reduced allergies and intolerances, improved joint inflammation and pain, saving money on weekly grocery bills. Most clients tell me the program pays for itself in the first few months, simply because they're spending less on eating out, ordering in, or just even adding extra items to the cart. Benefits of polycystic ovarian syndrome, type 2 diabetes, and metabolic syndrome. It is the highest success rate for lifelong health benefits and weight management. So how the program works is each client is given their own personalized food list. So we run their labs. There's 36 different lab values, and each lab value is correlated to specific foods to get them into optimal balance. In conjunction, we do a medical health history form if they have any conditions on any medications, everything, and food allergies, everything we need to know. We compile it into their profile and we generate their plan. So that is the secret sauce. That's what makes the program so effective. In addition to that, every client follows a very simple set of rules. Number one is 3 meals a day. So very simple, 3 meals a day. We want to make sure we're focused on stable blood sugars. We want to make sure we're focusing on insulin response. Our meals are very much designed for satiety. And again, when you have stable blood sugars, you have that satiety, you have your energy, no more brain fog or crashes. So 3 really well-balanced meals, no snacking in between. Number 2 is to ensure there's a break of 5 hours between meals. This falls in line with what we call metabolic flexibility, our body's ability to flip between burning glucose as fuel and fat as fuel. And so with that window in between, we make sure that we are managing that insulin response. We are able to turn into burning fat as fuel. Rule number 3 is to make sure a meal lasts no longer than 60 minutes. This is very simple, but this is for grazers, those who sit at their desk and they just kind of pick at their lunch all afternoon and then their insulin is doing this. We want to avoid that. Rule number 4, begin each meal with a bite or two of protein. Very simple, chicken, beans, fish, whatever your protein is, have a few bites first. This will release a hormone called glucagon, which will slow down the release of insulin. Everything is about managing your insulin response. Rule number 5 is 1 protein per meal and 3 different proteins a day. Very simple, eggs for breakfast, chicken for lunch, beans for dinner. This is going to maximize the amino acid profile. Rule number 6, ideally do not eat after 9 p.m. Of course, we have shift workers and stuff we accommodate, but most people have no problem with that. Rule number 7 is your water. Each client will be given a water amount that they have to drink. They can drink more, not less. This plays so many vital roles in all of our organ function, but weight loss is a process of toxic elimination through excretion. And so we have to make sure that we're getting our water in. And then rule number 8 is an apple a day. Very simple. It lowers your uric acid. It's like a power-packed multivitamin. There's just so many benefits to the daily apple. So really, really simple daily rules that it doesn't take long, that these just become habitual. These just become how our clients live. So the program is delivered in 4 phases. And so this is what clients really appreciate is structure. And so I have several conversations with health and wellness practitioners, nutritionists, naturopaths, health coaches. And so we're so knowledgeable. We have so much knowledge and we're so excited to make a difference and to help people. But clients don't purchase knowledge, they purchase results. And so with this program, you're able to offer a very clear path to the results that they're looking for. Here's your requisition form. We're going to run your blood work. I'm going to send everything to head office. We're going to generate your program. We're going to get your personalized list. We're going to do these 4 phases. I'm going to talk about this. This is how many meetings you get with me as your coach. This is your accountability check-ins. When you break it down into a deliverable program, that's what people are investing in. They're investing in something that they can visually walk them through the journey of exactly what is included. So let's go through the 4 phases. So phase number 1 is the 2-day cleanse. Very, very simple. This is the preparation phase. This is a very gentle colon cleanse. We take some magnesium citrate in the morning, dissolve it into a little hot water. This will draw water to the colon and prompt for bowel movements. We have some lighter eating throughout the day, protein breakfast, vegetable soup, light eating, very gentle colon cleanse, very, very manageable 2 days. And it really sets your client up for phase 2, which is the strict conversion phase. The strict conversion phase is 2 weeks where your client does not deviate from their plan. They get their exact prescribed food list and they don't eat off of it for those 2 weeks. It is the most rewarding 2 weeks because clients have substantial, significant results in this time frame. In total, I call this the 16-day reset. That's the bigger commitment where someone doesn't necessarily want to get started where they're on a weekend getaway or something too much on the go. You just want to be your day-to-day routine. Then we move over to the relaxed phase 3 version. And so if a client is still working towards a desired outcome as far as body composition, we're going to bring in some cooking oils. We're going to bring in daily flaxseed. We're going to bring in a few extra condiments. We're going to bring in treat meals. So treat meals, I like to call them balance meals because I always tell clients I'm a huge advocate of balance. Every once in a while, I want to go to the event. I want to go to the birthday party. I want to be able to detach and enjoy myself, but know that I'm still very much committed to my health and wellness most of the time without fully sacrificing some of those things that I love. So we start to introduce more balance. Then we gradually start to expand the food list in a test and assess method. So very gradually we'll introduce new foods and you're provided with the extended food list that you start to introduce for your clients first. Once the client has introduced new foods, they really get this education of understanding how food impacts their body, how it makes them feel. And so this knowledge is very powerful for them. And so once they've gotten to a really good rhythm, they're following the daily rules, they're eating mostly the foods off of their original list, but they're allowing themselves some balance. And we'll go over, the lists are extensive. Then we move them over to phase 4, which is maintenance. And this is what I always tell my clients, my number 1 goal is long-term sustainability. I do want to set you up for success, and I do want to make sure that you have every tool and every avenue you need to always be successful. So never, ever at the end of the program would anyone ever feel they want to try something else, consider something different. They've taken the time to go through the phases to actually learn and understand what works for their body. They always, always have it to resort back to. If they ever do, clients will go on vacation or veer a little bit off, but then they always know how to ground themselves with the program that works. So it's extremely effective. This is a sample list. So your clients are going to get their proteins and they're going to get their carbohydrates. And so we're a very well-balanced nutrition plan. You can see here, this is a sample of one client, that there's a good variety of proteins. So we have fish, seafood, meat, poultry, yogurt, cheese, legumes, nuts, and seeds. We have a really good variety. Carbohydrates, they're always going to be given an extensive vegetable list. And I always tell them, it's not that there isn't other lovely, wonderful, nutrient-dense vegetables, but these are the vegetables that contain the nutrients for your body, that your body is going to thrive specifically. There is fruits, as you can see at the bottom. Everyone's fruit list can be a little bit different. Everyone does get 100% rye bread, unless, of course, celiac or Hashimoto's. 100% whole grain rye bread, or rye crackers, which are a slow release carbohydrate, and they really, really help with the satiety as well. And then often there'll be an additional starch as well. So an oats, a rice, a potato. And so again, really, really well-balanced meal. So this is just a sample of what someone's nutrition plan would look like. Tons and tons of recipe options. We have recipe groups, we have recipe books, we have Jane here. We're going to talk about her cookbook. It's literally right behind me. So there's so many options when it comes to recipes. So your clients will get this breakdown of 9 meal boxes, and these 9 meal boxes are interchangeable. So very, very simple. They just, okay, I need to have 3 different proteins. I go to my protein list. These are my 3 favorite. I'm going to have this one for breakfast, this one for lunch, this one for dinner. So they can interchange these meal boxes. So it's really, really user friendly. I would say 90% of my clients are very, very busy. Most of the people I personally work with, they're working, they're moms, so they have kids, they're climbing the corporate ladder, they're, married, sometimes they're caring for elderly parents. Like there's just so much going on. So their nutrition plan needs to be easy. Just really tell me what to eat and when to eat it, and I will. And then I'm going to carry on with my very busy life. This program works extremely well. So couple of questions that are very common when it comes to the weight loss component. What is realistic for clients to lose? Everyone's a little bit different, but anywhere from 5 to 8% of your total body weight during the first 16 days, and then 1 to 2% per week after that. So if someone comes in at a starting weight of 180 pounds, they're going to lose anywhere from 19 to 14 pounds in the first 16 days. And then that healthy, steady, consistent 1.5 to 3.5 pounds per week after that. This is what I always tell clients is within 1 week. Give me 1 week on plan and you will have noticeable results. And that's all the motivation that you need to keep going. So it's extremely results driven. It's extremely effective. There's so many added health benefits. It really is a quality of life plan. The weight loss is a bonus. So I've worked with several clients who don't necessarily have the weight loss component, but they want to focus on their quality of life. So what determines a successful program? So when you're offering a program, is when it comes to the weight loss component, what gives a check that it's a successful program? When someone follows a program, they achieve their desired outcome, so their desired weight goal, maintain it for 2 years, then that program gets a check mark, okay? Metabolic Balance has a 60 to 80% success rate globally. So it is different depending the countries. We're in 36 countries. It is the only program that has a higher than 50% success rate in over 35 countries. Again, globally, it has the highest success rate. So in Canada, our next highest success rate would be 22% with a company that is a household name that we've all heard of. There is several companies, unfortunately, that are at 0%. So we're very, very proud to be holistic, whole food, and have a extremely high success rate. So to recap Metabolic Balance and the program and how it works for your clients, as a coach, you can feel abundantly confident that you're offering the best program available. You're supporting those with metabolic syndrome, struggling with their weight, but you're also providing them with a whole new quality and a whole new way of life. Okay, I want to dive a little bit more into the passion versus profit mindset, because a long time ago, someone once told me that the difference between a hobby and a career is consistent income. And I've seen so many people invest so much in themselves and their education, and then they're using it more as a hobby. And so this is what we're here for today, is because we want to flip that into a consistent, stable income for you, where you can have predictability, you have scalability, and you know what your future holds because you have that consistency. So this is really what we want to focus on. And so again, helping others is so rewarding, but without a solid business model, it is hard to make that lasting impact, because we need to make sure, with where we are in our high cost of living, that we can afford to grow and afford to continue to help and support our clients. So many practitioners struggle with pricing, retention, and growth. So undercharging because they don't want to be selling, that the salesy, inconsistent income and difficulty attracting new clients dropping off after a few sessions. I have been here. I've been through all of it for years and years. I was in hyper hustle mode, offering these in-depth nutritional consultations, and I would charge $99. And then there was hours of research that would go into it after, and then I would deliver everything to them. And I was constantly trying to get more and more of these, $99 sessions. And still at the end of the day or the end of the month, I wasn't getting ahead. I was way, way, way too time consuming. And it certainly wasn't angling me in a place that I could, afford growth in my life. We all want, things. Of course, there's all of the expenses, house and cars and kids and life. But then sometimes it's nice to go on vacation or do something special for yourself, because you deserve that as well. So with Metabolic Balance, we do provide a very, very structured system. So it is a science-backed premium service that justifies higher ticket pricing. It is a complete coaching framework that increases your client retention, and it is a business model that works, allowing you to focus on your passion while also building a profitable business. Common challenges that nutritionists face nowadays is, again, struggling to attract and retain clients. With the Metabolic Balance program, it's a science-backed program that builds trust and credibility, and it is a proven framework that increases client commitment, which increases client retention. I always let the coaches know that it is so results-driven. Results equal referrals, referrals equal growth. Since the end of 2020 to date, so I haven't even had full 5 years, I have just under 1,000 clients, and I've never advertised once. Everything has been referral based. When somebody has something that is so life-changing and so impactful on their health, they tell the people that matter most to them, their family, their best friends. This has been the greatest impact of my life. You need to seek this out for yourself as well. So highly referral based. Not that you can't do, you absolutely can do marketing. And there's so much opportunity for that. But I'm just letting you know it is such a referral-based business as well. So I'll struggle to price service effectively. We've got you covered. We're gonna go through that as well. And we want to make sure we ensure long-term success, because that's how you build a successful business. All right, so why personalized nutrition is the future? We know the one-size-fits-all programs don't work. We hear it over and over again. Clients are coming to us and they say, I've tried everything. I've tried everything. I tried this hype or this fad or this program, and they're not having success. So people are looking for personal programs. They're looking for the customization. They know that whatever is going on in their body, their hormonal imbalances, their inflammation, their joint pain, whatever they're experiencing can be different than the next person. And so they know they need a different program. They need something that is going to work for them. And so with Metabolic Balance, it is personalized to each individual client. No two plans are ever the same. There is no second guessing. You know with an absolute certainty that the program that comes to you is literally perfect for your client. One of our coaches, her name's Jennifer Neal. She works out of Calgary. And she said to me, she said, I'm a very, very good nutritionist, and I could spend hours doing really in-depth symptomology assessments, and I could come up with a great nutrition plan, and I would get it right about 70% of the time. She said, with Metabolic Balance, I get it right 99.999% of the time. And I do it in minutes, because I don't have to do such an in-depth symptomology assessment. I need to do the intake form, I need to run the labs, and I send it in a profile to head office, and the medical team gives it to me. So extremely results driven again. So when clients are seeing better results, it leads to higher retention, which leads to referrals. And again, this is what we've been touching on. So let's walk you through exactly the process of with metabolic balance, how you would work with your clients. And so first off, there's going to be the initial consultation. We want to listen. We want to understand their struggles. We want to understand their health goals. We want to understand what it is that they've been facing, any challenges. And then we want to explain to them why metabolic balance is going to address all of those for them. From there, you're going to issue the requisition form. So here's the requisition form. Again, all of our coaches, you have one rec form you give to all of your clients, and you do get a portal where you can go and retrieve the results. Of course, they go to the doctor first, and then you get a copy of those results as well. So you send them off for their blood work. This is a very exciting step for them because again, just that moment of walking into the lab to get the blood work, they know that because it is personalized to them, that it's going to be effective. So this is a very exciting stage for your client. This is where you outline the coaching and ongoing support. So you outline it for your client. Okay, we're going to get your blood work. Once I have your plan, then we're going to meet and we're going to review your plan. And then from there, this is this. And so typically over a 12-week program, you would have 5 one-on-one sessions. And then I also add weekly accountability check-ins. So there's 5 one-on-one meetings with each client. For me, the weekly accountability check-ins are not one-on-one. I use something called a Renfo scale. And so a Renfo scale is a bioimpedance scale. You can purchase it on Amazon for $30, and it breaks down body composition. So it's not just, here's my weight loss. Well, let's take a closer look. What's happening with your visceral fat, to your subcutaneous fat, to your muscle mass, to your body of water? And so my clients will text me their screenshots every week, and I do these on Fridays, and Fridays fuel my soul because I get to start every weekend just so lit up with so much excitement, so much positive feedback. Clients are coming in and they're so happy, and finally it's working, and they're so excited, and they're sharing their progress and they're sharing their success. And so I include that. And even if the client has a week where they struggle, of course, we all do. This happens. But you feel great because you provide them with guidance. What's the one thing we're going to focus on next week? What did we feel that we struggled with? How can we help? And so you always walk away feeling really great supporting your clients. So again, the process is blood work and health assessment, creating their personalized plan. You're their coach, which is the most important part. You're guiding them through and giving them that additional support, that motivation, that accountability, and then it achieves long-term results, sustainable maintenance program. And this is where I'm so grateful to have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of clients at that stage. The other great thing with metabolic balance, much like myself, if you get to a point where, wow, like there was a wait list to get in to see me, so many clients want the program, want to work with me, this is so rewarding, we can start talking about group coaching. We can talk about corporate wellness packages. We can talk about creating an online program. There is automations tools that we have access. There is referral networks. There's podcasts. I did a radio show. There is endless opportunity for growth. And the most important thing is you have an amazing team right by your side always who is cheering you on and loves just to watch you grow your business with such an amazing program. So let's walk through the certification process. So, okay, this is so exciting. How do I become certified? Where do I get started? So first off, it's very important to know that our program is only delivered through accredited professionals. And so likely everyone here, I would imagine, already is, but nutritionist, dietitian, health coach, MD, ND, you do have to have a qualification. If you're uncertain, please reach out to us at the team. And the great thing about being here with Health Coach Collaborative is they have several programs that will qualify you. So very important to maintain the credibility of the program. Our coaches have to be accredited professionals. From there, you'll get yourself signed up. So you qualify, you have the prerequisite, you would enroll to become a coach. We're going to talk a little bit about that because very excited to offer something special for you here today. Then once you enroll, you can immediately start the training. So the first part is the theoretical training. So this is 16 lessons where you will dive into the science behind the program. So the science behind the foundation, metabolic balance, how it evolved. We're going to talk about blood sugar regulation, metabolic syndrome, allergies, mental barriers, everything that you would need to know about the program and how it was developed and what makes it so effective. Once you've completed the theoretical part of the training, you're going to move over to the practical part of the training. And this is where Not only do you get to enter your very first plan, but your very first plan is your own plan. And so you get your own plan included with the certification, which has significant value right there, so that you can, of course, experience for yourself, because we can only speak authentically when it's something that we've experienced for ourselves. And so the practical training, very, very user friendly. Our back office to enter plans is data entry. Like, it's very, very easy, very user friendly. It's 4 modules. So 16 plus 4, 20 modules. I would say in total, if you're taking your time and you're taking notes, it's around 20 hours. At this stage, you are fully certified. You're a fully certified metabolic balance coach, and you have the ability to start taking on clients. Optional but recommended is the Build Your Business training. The Build Your Business training is complimentary. It is included. There's no additional cost. But this teaches those who are brand new exactly how to grow, how to build your business, how to have the 8-step duplicatable system. So the exact same steps that you do with every single client. Your clients' needs are unique, but the process with each client is the same. When you have a process, you have something that is scalable. So Build Your Business talks about leveraging things like social media. There's templates, there's guides, everything you could need, everything you could possibly need, and that is included for you as well. Our number one goal is our client success, which for us is our coaches. So our coaches' success, and then for you is your client success. Okay, expected income. I think it is important to cover this because it's important to really know what it is that we're going into. So let's break it down. The cost of the plan in the labs is $560. So plan is $400, labs is $160. So the cost to onboard a client is $560. Most of our coaches across the board charge $14.99 for their program. This is such a minimal investment from the client for the value that they get. And I will tell you, I have people pay it almost every single day. This includes so much. And again, it's their requisition form, it's their personal program, it's months of coaching, it's accountability check-ins. I include that Renfo scale, it's $30. So I do include that. That's up to you. It's so much that they get. And so clients are more than happy to invest in something that is going to change their life. So it's a very, very reasonable price to them. I do remember in the beginning, I went from charging $99 nutrition sessions to $14.99 overnight. And I did think this feels like a jump. And I was absolutely blown away because what I was offering was so much different. What I was offering was personal. It was a program. It had structure and it delivered results. So very, very minimal investment for the value. So with this, the profit margin is $9.39 per client. That's kind of what the average we're going for. When I say the average charge is $14.99, we have a minimum charge of $11.99 because we don't want anybody discounting the value of the program. That being said, if it's your best friend, if it's your mom, you can charge them whatever you want, right? If you don't want to charge them, you just want to charge them at cost so that you get comfortable. Absolutely. But advertising, marketing, website, minimum is $11.99. Some people do charge above that. Some people have extra modalities. They offer weekly yoga sessions. They offer breath work, Reiki, whatever it is. If you add it in, great. You would charge accordingly. Every 6th plan is free. So this is like a little benchmark. It's a little bonus. So every 6th plan you enter every month is free. So that's an extra $400 back in your pocket. So 6, 12, 18, 24, so on and so forth. So that's just a nice little bonus to be able to work towards. So breaking it down, our coaches will onboard on average 2 to 5 clients a week, which is anywhere kind of around that 1,900 to 4,700 a week, anywhere that 5 to 18,000 per month. So there certainly is a range depending on how many clients you're on board. If I break it down to what is a realistic average and an attainable goal would be 12 plans a month. And the reason I do 12 plans a month is because your 6th is free. So if we can do 12, that means 2 free plans. So that's $800 back in your pocket. So this is 3 clients a week. This can all be done with a commitment of around 6 to 10 hours per week. So those 3 new clients per week, that's 3 consultations. You're going to have a few follow-up consultations from your previous clients. You're going to answer a few emails. You're going to do a couple of accountability check-ins. So maybe create some social media content. So let's even call it 10 hours. 10 hours a week. That's less than part-time. It's so manageable. This was the other thing that blew my mind. I ran 24/7 fitness clubs. I ran off of my feet. So to be able to have the freedom to be home and with my kids and, be at ease and, just in a calmer state. And then the income that also came along with it. So 12 plans a month, when you add in the bonus of the two being free, is just over 12,000 a month, 144,000 a year. Again, very realistic. This is all while working virtually, while working part-time. And this is what's so great about it. And so almost all of our coaches work virtually only. Some of our coaches still do have brick and mortar. The great part about working virtually, again, I love being home with the kids and so on and so forth, but it allows you to work from anywhere in the world. I was in like the biggest pinch me moment last year when I was working off of the back of a sailboat that I was living on in the island of St. Vincent for my brother-in-law's 50th birthday trip. I was like, how am I here? I always had to be in a physical location all the time. And I was there 50, 60 plus hours a week. So that was a very, very surreal moment for me. And then on top of it, you can work with clients anywhere, literally anywhere. So they don't have to physically come to see you, which obviously broadens your ability to take on clients. And so predominantly, most of our coaches work in Canada, but you can onboard clients globally, and we can talk a bit more about that as well. So not only are you doing what you love, you're earning a comfortable living, the most important thing is that you're truly making an impact in the lives of others in the most positive way. It is pure blissful joy that comes over you when you realize that you can actually have both, that you can earn a sustainable living, all while supporting health and others on their health and wellness journey. And I have to say, for over a decade, I didn't have both. I was doing what I loved. I was running those $99 consults, and then I got my personal training, and I was working as a personal trainer, and the gym was charging 100 and something and paying me $20 for it. And I don't know if anyone's been there, but I was doing the work that I loved, but I wasn't taking my kids to Disney. And so the point is that this really, really gives you the freedom to be able to do both. And I always look at it that if I do have, the more that I'm able to grow financially, it is solely because my focus is on helping other people. So it's very, very rewarding. Okay, let's go over a couple of my clients, and then I have Jean here and a few others, and we're gonna go over a few things. So I just want to share some before and afters with you here. So the client on the left here is a client who came to me who tried it all, tried literally everything from injections, pills, proprietary protein bars, shakes, you name it. And she has PCOS, she's insulin resistant, nothing worked. Not only did nothing work, she was absolutely exhausted. And needless to say, the program was changed her life. This is her celebration vacation that she took with her mom, and she just couldn't have been happier. The girl here on the right gives me goosebumps every single time I see this, because what you see here is a visual, but it has nothing to do with body composition and everything to do with how her life changed. She just told me she shows up different as a mother for her kids. She's different in her marriage as a wife. She's a more productive employee at work. Her whole world, her whole quality of life changed when she started focusing on herself and making herself a priority. My client over here on the left, incredible results, like so many who've gone through perimenopause or getting into menopause. Just the weight started creeping up so fast that it got to a point that she called me and said, I don't even know how this happened so quickly. She had gained like 55-ish pounds, but then she lost almost 70 with the program. She just said, I love this program. I love what I'm eating. I get so excited for breakfast and lunch, and I like to look for new recipes for dinner, and I love everything about it. And my body just continues to respond. My friend's mom here, one of my first clients, lost almost 100 pounds. She was one of my biggest motivating factors that I needed to stop everything and offer this program, because my friend texted me and she said, I've never seen my mom run and jump in the pool. And meanwhile, she was running with her 7-year-old granddaughter and throwing her and jumping in the pool and playing. She's like, my friend has 3 older sons. She's like, I've never seen her do that with her grandkids ever. Like, this is wild. And so again, the impact reaches far, far, far beyond what you visually see, far beyond that. This is Melissa here with one of her clients, and Melissa is one of our coaches since 2012. She's an amazing coach. runs a very, very successful business, just offers metabolic balance. It's the only program that she offers. And then here's a few testimonials. You're welcome to read through these testimonials. But speaking of testimonials, we have one of the coaches that I look up to so much. When I was first doing my research and doing my due diligence on becoming a coach, all I did was just follow Jane. So without further ado, I'm going to invite Jane to tell her story because it's a very powerful one. And I'm so glad that she's here with us tonight. Thank you, Jane. Hi. Oh, you're on mute. Like, there we go.
Thanks, Jen. That was wonderful. And it's such a, I've heard this information millions and millions of times, but every single time I hear it, I find it so refreshing. And it just confirms the reason why I do metabolic balance. And just to kind of give you guys a little bit of a backstory. I became a nutritionist in 1980. I ran my own little private practice. And it wasn't until 2013 that I was actually introduced to Dr. Wolf. He came to Toronto. He did a presentation. And like you, Jen, I was making plans for people. And it was pretty much like throwing a dart at a dartboard and sometimes winning and sometimes, losing. When Dr. Wolf started to explain how this plan works and how it's going to affect the inflammation, the weight loss, the hormonal balancing, my mouth literally dropped open. So he came back a month later. I took the training. I was with Melissa, one of the other coaches that you were just talking about, and I left that room running. And the first thing I did was I went to 5 of my friends and I said, listen, I don't really know exactly what I'm doing right now, but if you could be my guinea pig and we could work this together, then this would be amazing. So as of today, I have sold close to 1,500 plans. I work around the world. I have half my clients are virtual, half of them are physically coming in. I have had clients, some of the clients have done not only just one plan, but 2 plans, 3 plans, and even 4 plans over the years, only because they've had to travel abroad. They might have developed a medical condition. So they love this thing so much, and the reputation that Metabolic Balance has, they always come back to it. I even have clients that, I talked a little bit about metabolic balance with them like years ago. They come back around and they want to know how to do this. I personally work this full time. I work a lot of hours, but one of the things that Jen was saying is that this job is one of those things, one of these jobs that fills your heart with success, because I too have seen, when someone loses 100 pounds, when somebody loses their inflammation. I had a client last night with an inflammation marker of 54. This is extremely high. Now, this makes me so excited because his transformation is going to be extraordinary. And that's one of the things I love about it, doing that blood values, getting those numbers, and then working and seeing what foods that he's been given. It's just remarkable. And, another thing that we really haven't talked about is when you take a picture of that client initially, and then when we look at them when they're finished, they look 20 years younger. Like that is a given for sure. Anyways, I started to slowly ramp up my business and ramp it up. And I too, like Jen, I don't have to advertise anymore, because when a client goes on the program, within those first 16 days, that's when they lose the most weight. That's where I'm really diligent about staying on top of their progress, answering all their questions, responding to the text messages whenever. If I'm on a boat or on an airplane, I'll do that. And that's when I get those great referrals, and thank people for that. But as over the years, I had clients come back to me, because things now are much different because Jen's involved in Metabolic Balance Canada. Wasn't quite like that a few years ago. Clients kept saying to me, I need to have more information about this program. What kind of foods can I prepare? So I decided that I was going to create a Metabolic Balance kitchen cookbook. This book came out in December of 2024. It has 90 individual recipes. It also has the complete science of metabolic balance, the complete rules in layman's terms. So anybody could pick up this book, whether in Canada, US, or anybody who speaks English, can take this book and start to incorporate the rules, the science, anything, and they will see a remarkable difference. Ideally, we want them to reach out to find a coach, and I've already got clients from this book, so it's been tremendously helpful. It really truly was a labor of love. I did every single recipe 4 times, had a professional photographer come. The only frustrating part was it took so long to actually get released. But we're very, very excited about where this book is going to go. And last week, I had a client in Chicago who is sort of a TV celebrity, and he lost 45 pounds. And his friend is Charles Maytox, who is Bob Marley's nephew. And he was watching a syndicated TV show that I was on with Lauren. And he said, "Oh my God, I want this girl." So I just came back from Costa Rica, where we did a whole documentary on menopause and metabolic balance. And then plus also they had 10 different doctors doing different things with all the 5 ladies that attended that. So that's extremely exciting, because this information is so incredible and life-changing that I knew that I needed to be part of that documentary, because we need to get the word out. Because long term, we know that Ozempic helps people on some level, but they're not learning anything. What I love about Metabolic Balance is that they actually get this complete understanding of what they do in every situation. I, like Jen, I travel all over the world. I never think to myself, "Oh my God, I'm going to gain weight on that trip." I never think that way, because I have ingrained in me what works for me, what doesn't work for me. And if I cheat or not cheat, I mean, I'm pretty good because I work out a lot. But if I eat something bad, I feel it. So that's the nice thing about this. When you don't eat the right food for your body, you will feel it. So it naturally keeps people away from eating foods that they shouldn't necessarily be consuming. So it's exciting. The Metabolic Balance family, I just had dinner with a couple girls last night with Melissa. The support that we get from the Canadians, from Jen, from Vera, from my friends, we all help each other, because we want each of us to grow, and we also want to learn from each other, because there's always things changing. There's always different challenges. People come to me with different, I'm an airline pilot. I'm a massage therapist. I only have 10 minutes between meals. I'm having gastric bypass. So, whenever I'm in doubt, I go to these guys, or I even actually have become really good friends with the doctor who helps represent Metabolic Balance Canada. And I just send him an email and he sends me back information immediately, which is extremely helpful. But the beauty of it is I work from my home and I love it, because like you, I can do this anywhere, anytime. Again, 50% of my clients are on Zoom, 50% in person. I like the in person because I do have one of those big giant bioimpedance scales. So that's amazing because people love to get on that. But I think I'm going to also send out the Ren Pro. I charge $1,800 for my sessions. And I include it's a little different how I do it, but I also include things like the cleansing product, the bread, the scales, just to make it a little bit more user friendly. And I also do live blood cell analysis. I do emotional consultations. I work with homeopathy, so that's why I charge more. Plus, I also have so much experience, and nobody balks at the price. Nobody, and they pay it upfront. I do collect it sometimes in a payment plan, but I'd say 99.9% of my clients, after you tell them what this program's all about, they just give me their credit card. I've had clients actually just call me. They don't even ask the price. And at the end, they're like, "Oh, by the way, how much is this?" And they're like, "Oh, fine." They're totally fine. If I do a couple, I do 1,800, 1,500. So that gives them a little bit of a break. But it really, you know, this is something that nourishes the deepest part of my soul, because when I go to bed at night and I see that lady came in and she's going on vacation, she's lost 45 pounds, there is no other good feeling like that. That is just the best. And the training, the support, you're not left alone. This is your business, but the back end support you get is phenomenal. Jen and I have been to Germany several times, which is, also really great for education. But if you're kind of on the cusp of not necessarily knowing what to do, I would say run, start the car and go do this, because honestly, I can't wait to wake up every day and do this again. And it's become my passion, and I love it. What can I say?
Oh, thank you, Jane, so much. I just love these testimonials. And, I'll host different webinars and I'll reach out to a couple of our coaches who are just so happy to share. When you become so passionate about something that's made such a difference in your life because you're warms your heart by all the lives that you've changed, you get really excited to share. So thank you so much for being here.
You're
I
welcome.
have my cookbook here.
Yay!
Mine's a little extra special because it was signed by Jane and I got it before the release. So this is my very, very special copy, and it's such a valuable addition for us to have as coaches to use with our clients. It's a beautiful, beautiful cookbook. So you'll definitely have to get that as well. And there's so many added values that we offer through Metabolic Balance to support the growth of your business. And so I'm actually going to dive right into that and then the certification. So again, Jane, thank you so much. And
You're
so
welcome. Thank you.
getting started with Metabolic Balance, let's just reiterate everything that's included. It is a lot. So first off, the theoretical training, which is the science behind the program, the practical training where you get your own plan. This is included. It can be used with your first client, but either way, the first plan is included. We've just had some who have already did the plan. They were so excited, and so they use it with their first client. There is a Metabolic Balance certificate as an approved coach. We're also an approved CEC provider. And then the Build Your Business training, we covered that. You get 24/7 access to be able to enter and generate plans to our back office. You get access to our Coach Hub. So you can see here, our Coach Hub has resource library, downloads, labs, courses, knowledge, special deals for coaches, FAQs. You can just search anything you could possibly need. Complete marketing materials from welcome guides, getting started guides, guides for every phase. You can just download them and then modify. You can swap your own logo and your own name and everything that you need. We have social media templates. We have brochure templates, business card template, you name it. You think of it, it's there. We do have a team of medical advisors for your clients. And so we have a community Facebook group. Our community Facebook group is so supportive. It's so empowering. Anything that you need, if you run into a situation or a circumstance, hey, I have this new client who has XYZ condition, pop a question in there. We have a whole medical team who's going to answer that question for you. We have a WhatsApp coach group if you want to be a part of that as well. And then you have 24/7 support from the team at head office. And we have departments for everyone. So we have our Laurent in our blood work department, Claudia is our admin, we have our marketing and sales department. We have absolutely every avenue covered. So many places for support to make sure that you're successful, because that is our number one goal. You receive a plan that is proven to work. You can generate plan within minutes. So you can enter everything within minutes, which saves you so much time on the back end, knowing that a perfectly curated plan is sent to you. We talked about results equal referrals, referrals equal growth. It's such a substantial way to grow your business. It is a very simple integration into an existing business. So it's a great tool. Like Jane mentioned, she does live blood cell, emotional consultations. If you're somebody who's already doing these, you can add this in, but it's also a fantastic startup. So many people only offer Metabolic Balance. Very fast return on your investment, personal benefits from following your own plan. And then again, that time freedom, which is really, really rewarding to have just a better balance in your own life, to be able to choose your own hours, choose how many clients you onboard, and work when you want and from wherever you want. You do get free access to the Metabolic Balance app. This is for you and for your clients. And our brand new app is launching on July 7th, which is going to have a ton of extra features, which is going to be amazing. There's going to be recipes and links to things like bioimpedance scale. There's going to be a chat that you could set up if you want to chat with your client through the app. Their plan is there. Their grocery list is there. The phases are there. Everything is there. Recipe books and recipe group. There is monthly educational roundtable meetings every single month. So every month we do one that is education, where we bring in a guest speaker who will educate you on a certain topic. Maybe it's hormone health, or any like various topics. There is a recording always sent out. And then we have our monthly Thrive Thursday, which is solely a meeting that discusses business growth, and also the recording is sent out for that. In addition, we do have an annual update. So we have a very big annual update every year in February, where all of the coaches come together and we bring on doctors, and it's a really, really powerful day of education. This February it will be in person in Toronto, which is very exciting. It's been virtual for a few years with COVID, but now it will be in person for those who are able to attend, and also virtual for our coaches that might not be able to travel that distance. Okay, so what we've been waiting for, this is the excitement we have to offer. So for absolutely everything that is included, the program, the full certification, including everything, is $29.97. We do have an incredible promo here with the Health Coach Collaborative of $1,000 off. And so using promo code HCC1000 will give you $1,000 off your certification. So the price is $19.97, and this is valid until July 15th. We do offer financing. So when you add to cart, you want to put the promo code in first, HCC1000, and then at the bottom, there's a little financing option through Klarna if payments make it more flexible for you. In addition to that, in order to maintain all of those monthly webinars and services and coach hubs and everything that we offer, there is a nominal fee, annual fee of $250. Your first year is always free. So this is always charged in February. So for example, any coaches that were to onboard now, your first $250 is not until February of 2027. So you have lots of time before that annual fee is due. And that just covers all of the service and support that you get 24/7 as a coach. And it also covers that annual update. I do find that this is a very popular, it's a very great time to enroll in the certification, because back to school after summer is a very, very demanding time for coaches. And so it is a great time to be able to take on clients. And so if you're able to, get yourself certified, it's 20 hours. So over the summer, get yourself certified, get your downloads and your paperwork, get everything organized and in place. You're in a fantastic spot to start generating an income and really taking on clients in the fall. And then really by the new year, you're off. Then you really, things will start to pick up from there. So the timing could work out very, very well for you in that regard. So you will all get sent an email with this promo code and then the link to join with the offer, and along with this recording as well. So thank you so, so much. I am going to mention this is the link here, metabolic-balance.ca/join. We'll take you right there. Again, we will send it out. Thank you again to Lisa and Heather for hosting, to Jane, and then for those of you who were able to attend and spend time with us this evening, I really appreciate it. And I'm going to open it up to some questions. So I'm going to see if I can pull up the chat here. There we go. Okay. All right. So I'm going to open it up to some questions. If anybody wants to pop it in the chat, or simply just raise your hand. I'm here to answer any questions that anybody might have.
Thanks, Jen. That was incredible. Incredible. I feel so inspired. And I have a couple of questions myself, actually, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Why rye bread?
So rye bread has a much lower glycemic load. It is a slow release carbohydrate, and it really supports satiety, and it supports stable blood sugars. So we have found that including the rye bread with a meal really supports that, again, that all of those things that I said, but the satiety, so that you're comfortable in between meals until your next meal, which is usually that the 5-ish hours in between. Rule number 2 is 5 hours. I do tell clients, I understand we're working on busy schedules, so sometimes it's 4, sometimes it's 6, but in and around that 5 hours in between. And the other thing is rye bread, dense 100% rye bread, very, very popular in Germany. So it's a German program. Yeah. And so that's where it's always been included from. And so we have German bakers around here who will make it for you, or you can get it at the grocery store. There's a number of companies who will make it. And it's quite enjoyable. Most people really enjoy it.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I was wondering about the German connection. I figured that was a big part of it.
Yeah.
And so you mentioned that there the tenets of the program, and So I'm assuming that the plans will vary, obviously, depending on the blood work, on the individual's blood work. So,
Yeah, no two plans are the same. So 36
okay.
lab values correlates to different foods. And so unless two people had the exact same lab results, which we know is impossible, then no two plans are the same.
Okay, cool. All right. That's interesting. And thank you so much, Jane, for your inspiring testimonials. That was amazing. I loved I'm actually really interested in talking to you about your menopause and metabolic balance. Is it did you say it's a video or documentary that you're involved in?
Yeah, so Jane is actually doing a documentary with 5 women in Costa Rica who are
Oh
all
my
going through
gosh.
menopause. So it's all the Metabolic Balance program. So she flew out there with each of their plans and sat down, and it's all being filmed over the course of 4 months. And
Wow.
so then it's all going to be all their results, all their experience, and how it's impacted their menopause journey is all going to be combined into a documentary. So
Oh
yeah,
my
we'll make
gosh.
sure we get that out for you as well.
Awesome. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions?
Thank you, Marianne, for that lovely comment. Thank you. Thank you, Jen, who's still here. Heather.
Yeah,
Awesome.
so just a reminder that if you are interested in the training, but you don't qualify yet, you can take some courses through Health Coach Collaborative that will qualify you to take the Metabolic Balance Coach program. And just a little plug, if you don't mind, Jen, we are offering our meal planning course for only $99 until June 30th. So if that's something, and it is part of the qualifying material that is needed. So check it out on our website.
Amazing. Awesome. Thanks,
Okay.
everybody.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being here tonight.
Thanks, everyone. Good night.